What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the stream. We are live just here for the Attacker Defender roll-off with the T5S2 Pod 29 finals. It's the last day of T5S2 Season 6. So this is going to be our second to last game besides the Invitational, which will be starting next month, February 6th. Tonight, everybody, the rankings freeze. And we're going to determine our top 16 for the season. Out of 400 players, only the top 16 are going to get to participate in that invitational. And both of these players are fighting to maintain that top 16 spot. We have over here in the red, playing Tyranids, Indicius Magpie, a absolutely energetic tournament grinder, a dauntless tournament grinder. Indicius joins, I think, essentially every single tournament that he can in order to get these T5S2 rankings points. And it has paid off. He's currently sitting in the top 16. Versus, over here in the blue, playing Adepta Sororitas. So two of the most powerful factions in the Warzone Nephilim season going to face off against each other. I think the power level of these factions drops off significantly come Warzone Arcs of Omen, but we'll have to see if they're still able to compete. This is Dylan Usher in the blue. Dylan, I'm just going to take a look at Dylan's ranking here. Dylan currently at 19th spot. So this is all to play for, chats. Dylan can pick up another 25 rankings points by dropping out his last place finish, which is a 9th place in a Copenhagen League. If he ends up taking this game down. And that would be enough to catapult him, I believe, to the top 16. Yeah, that would for sure be enough to put him in the top 16. So this is going to be a pretty tight game, chat. Oh, Indicius also at 15th place currently. Indicius also looking to get a couple extra rankings points in here. He also has the potential to get 20 or 15 rankings points, which would probably secure his place in the top 16. So actually, this may be just a win and end for these players for that top 16 spot. This is going to be an insane game, chat. I'm psyched. Let's go. So let's talk about the lists as the players are setting up their armies. We have Tyranids all weekend this weekend. Just thanks to, I don't know, thanks to the luck of the draw, I think, and the power level of the faction. We watched Tyranids with Slim Hogan play last night in an absolute barn burner of a game against Leagues of Votan from Raise 667. Super sick game, and I think really showcased how powerful Leagues of Votan are. And we're going to see if we can do the same thing here with Tyranids against Adepta Sororitas. So we have... and this is a little bit of a different Tyranids build. We saw a very classic Kraken build from Slim Hogan, but today we're seeing a Leviathan construction from Indicius Magpie. This is a single battalion detachment coming out of the High Fleet Leviathan using the Leviathan adaptive trait. So we get a free hit reroll floating on every single one of these units. That's bringing a unit of Tyrant Guard to protect the Hive Tyrant. That Hive Tyrant is a foot Hive Tyrant. No winged Tyrants today. So the fact that you can't overrun those guys anymore, not even going to be that big of a deal for this list in Arcs of Omen. And this is actually, I guess we will lose some of the more specialized selections here when it moves to Arcs of Omen. But this core character brick is probably going to remain relatively unchanged going into the new season for Tyranid lists. So that is a foot Hive Tyrant, bringing a heavy Venom Cannon, Monstrous Bone Sword. It has perfectly adapted, so that is a floating reroll. Basically universal. Every battle round you get to reroll one hit, wound, saving throw, or psychic test. Advanced or charge roll, I think, in addition. So it basically gives you a command point to reroll one of the Hive Tyrant's things every single turn, which is extremely powerful on Shard Gullet. We get a hit reroll. It's the Hive Tyrant's hitting on 2s already. We get a hit reroll from High Fleet Leviathan. It's probably wounding on 2s or 3s, and we get a wound roll from Perfectly Adapted, which means it's almost effectively full rerolling, unless you roll abysmally bad. And on a huge AP 5/5 damage weapon, that's a really big deal. We then also have a Neurothrope. This guy has Synaptic Tendrils, so he has the ability to drop 2 sets of Warp Siphons off on nearby Tyranids, alongside a Turvagon with Alien Cunning and the Maw Claws of Thyrax. So full rerolls and additional attacks from the Relic. Alien Cunning gives it objective secured, so it's going to be able to dominate the center objective. And to compound that, we have a unit of 30 Termagants with Flesh Borers. So for those who haven't seen this before, the Termagants grant lookouts to Turvagons as long as they are above 15 models and the Turvagon is within an inch of them. And it's a little bit of an odd wording. The Termagants also have to be closer than the Turvagon to any unit in the enemy army, and if they are, then they grant lookouts, sir. So you can't have the Termagants be literally behind the Turvagon. They have to be sort of in front of it, and as long as that criteria gets filled, then they're fine. But this allows you to put this enormous objective secured brick in the center of the table. The Turvagon is 5 models objective secured. The Termagants are each individually 1 model objective secured. And they can, especially using the Turvagon Imperative to get additional movement, they can push right up in the middle of the table. They are Stalwart, thanks to the Hive Fleet Leviathan subfaction ability. They have a 5+ invulnerable save from Hive Nexus from the nearby Zoanthropes, if we're going to cast that on them. And they can be catalysted as well. So, we are missing Venom Thropes in this list, so no -1 to hit them. But you can compound all of the defensive effects to make this unit extremely difficult to kill. The Turvagon then can regenerate models in the unit that are dead, so if you don't wipe the unit, it's mostly going to be back to at least half strength the next turn. And that all happens in the command phase, so you can use it to steal objectives away from people. So extremely powerful brick of primary objective control here, which is sort of what Tyranids need to do right now. The secondary objectives for Tyranids, especially in comparison to Adepta Sororitas, not that great. So we're most likely going to see Dylan with that early game secondary lead. Dylan having some trouble with these Zephyr. But what Indicius is going to try to do is offset that by pushing forward aggressively with this huge Termagant brick and trying to hold the center of the table for a couple turns. Max out on primary, drop his opponent down below max primary, and use that to roll out the win. We also have some spicy selections. So 2 units of Gargoyles in the troop slot, as well as 3 units of Zoanthropes in the elite slot. I think Indicius probably dropped these guys in here just for the last hurrah. I think this is, yeah, his list is called Final Rampage, so I imagine that we are playing the Zoanthropes as a bit of a meme before they get absolutely dumpstered by the Arcs of Omen data slate update and become mostly unplayable. Alongside 3 Biovores, another unit that we will most likely not see very much going on into the future, and 2 Harpies. The Harpies running heavy venom cannons. One has Synaptic Enhancement, so it is a Synapse creature. The other one with Voracious Ammunition to deal mortal wounds. Good stuff. Moving on to Dylan Usher's Adepta Sororitas list. This is a relatively standard Bloody Rose build, kind of an MSU style, as we've seen out of Bloody Rose. I feel like every time Sisters build armies, they very, very slowly move towards having as many, 5 to 8 model units as like humanly possible. This is a single battalion detachment coming out of that Bloody Rose subfaction, so we do get these supplement abilities in there as well. That brings in a Repentia Superior, a Canoness with Righteous Rage, and Word of the Emperor. So she's going to be able to advance and charge Word of the Emperor, giving her a fight last and the ability to grant units the ability to ignore invulnerable saves. Looks like we're rolling to go first here. Deployment is done. Indicius. Oh, there's the roll. Oh, but double ones. All right, fair enough.
I rolled a 2.
2 on Dylan's side. 2 on Indicius' side. No way, dude. Let's go tie again. No, Indicius wins the 6. So Tyranids going first. And I'm going to be honest, I think Tyranids might actually prefer going second in this matchup. I can't. I'm not totally sure, but they don't take too much damage from the Alpha Strike here. And if they push too far forward, they are just going to get annihilated by Adepta Sororitas.
First turn, I'm going to just pick nothing pre-game to do. Do you want to move that? Wait, those need stingies, don't they?
No, it's a 4.
You can only pre-game move them if you have those fast attack things, right?
Yeah, I'm not pre-game right, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we are Bloody Rose, so we could use the stratagem to pregame move the Rhino, but there's not really a reason to. Going second here. That is a good option for Bloody Rose if they go first, because it gives them the ability to put Repentia or Retributors in sort of the center of the table,
This one here.
which can be a huge deal.
Which one?
This one.
It has to be outside your deployment zone.
It is outside my deployment zone.
Wholly out. Anyway.
The objective is
Oh, yeah, with the
outside it.
oh, yeah, never mind. So, yeah, so that one you're picking, and... Okay. Let's see this... Where was I?
Yeah, so we've designated this, the objective inside this ruin, as the shrine.
And on to...
Clearly that was an ecclesiarchical building that the Sororitas want to hold down. Get them their free points at the end of the turn. It's an easy 15, essentially, unless the Sororitas player gets tabled for them. One of the many incredibly strong secondaries that Sororitas have access to. So, looks like we're going to start here with, I believe, what is the Turbigon Imperative. So, +2 movement on everyone. It is an interesting selection, an interesting sort of dynamic between that imperative and one of the more defensively oriented ones, because the Turbigon Imperative is very strong in both the capacity that we're seeing right now, where you can use it to just place your units in the middle of the table and force the engagement into this, I like to call it the toilet bowl, where everything just sort of swirls around the middle. You're trying to force the engagement into this center area, and you're forcing the Sororitas player to have to come into you, which is exactly where you want them to be. If you have to move into a Sororitas army, you're going to have a bad time. They do so much damage at close range that it's really bad. But as long as Indicius can set up on this sort of defensive posture on his side of the midline, that's exactly where he wants to be. So you can use the Turbigon Imperative to ensure that your Termagants get there. The other option is that you save it for the late game, and you can use it to enhance the threat range of some of your late game units. Things like this Hive Tyrant. Although, to be fair, the offensive output of this army isn't actually that great. There's not a lot of super hardcore melee threats that we have to deal with, so I don't think... I do actually like this early game's move or use. So we're going to be pushing these Termagants into the center of the table, putting a ton of objectives secured on that middle objective, and then we're also going to be able to get the Turbigon into that middle objective as well. So that's going to be probably somewhere in the realm of 15 objective secured models in the middle objective on the bottom of the first turn, which seems pretty good. So moving on just through the remainder of Dylan's Sororitas list, we were looking at his Canoness. Now, his Canoness has a relic. I don't know if I've seen before. Let's take a quick look at that. So it has Mina's Wrath, a relic Power Sword, which is doing its best Celestine impression. It's a Strength 5, AP 3, 2 damage on a wound roll of 6. It just turns the damage into mortal wounds and the attack sequence ends. So instead of doing normal damage, it does mortal wounds. Unfortunate that it's a wound roll, not a hit roll, so it doesn't automatically go through the hit step. But that does mean that you can Miracle Dice it potentially to deal mortal wounds and allow it to effectively explode into additional damage to people. So here's the other benefit of putting all these Termagants in the center of the table, is that obviously you get huge character protection for this Hive Tyrant. We're going to basically just put these Tyrant Guard in the corner of this building right here where they can't be seen. They're going to contribute a Lookout Search to the Hive Tyrant, and the Hive Tyrant's going to have all the Termagants and the Turbigon in front of it, so it will be untargetable. Moving on deeper into this list, we do have Celestine and the Gemini Superior, as we talked about before. 3 units of Battle Sisters to fill out the troop slot, a unit of Celestian Sacrosancts, with maces and a spear on the Superior, alongside a Dogmata, with Chorus of Spiritual Fortitude, Refrain of Blazing Piety. So it's going to be able to make these sisters immune to psychic powers and untargetable by psychic powers, which is a big deal against triple Zoanthropes. And I do think that, honestly, the over-reliance that Indicius has in this list on these Zoanthropes is going to make the existence of that course of spiritual fortitude absolutely lethal to him. So I'm a little worried for Indicius here. As much of his list is a meme, Dylan's basically able to shut it down almost entirely. But basically, he's going to be able to effectively, if Dylan exposes any of his Sororitas units, he's going to be able to put units in front of them that are immune to psychic powers, which means that those psychic powers will automatically, for the most part, things like smites and psychic screams that go to the nearest enemy are going to basically magnetize to those units. And unfortunately for them, those units will be immune. So they take no damage from the smite, and then the units behind them are safe. You are still going to have to deal with shooting, and there's an appreciable amount of shooting, but we are still playing in an Armor of Contempt universe right now. Oh, it looks like we're pushing the Harpies? Really? Wow, okay. So those AP1 weapons are probably going to bounce. So that's actually a lot of the damage output from this Tyranids army that's not going to be able to do too much. That said, we do have neuroparasites on those zoanthropes, I believe. Don't know if their psychic powers were noted down. I think Indicius did declare them at the beginning of the game to make sure that they're in there, but I don't know if he put them on the tooltip. But it does give them a way to target some mortal wound damage, and that is very strong against the Adepta Sororitas because they're low toughness. So following that up, we also have 3 units of Sisters Repentia with Eviscerators, 7 apiece, so 21 total Repentia. 3 units of Zephyrum in the fast attack slot, 7 apiece, sensing a theme, alongside 2 units of Retributors in heavy support, those with Multi-Meltas, Armorium Cherubs, Combi Flamers on the Superior, which unlocks, if they do get in range, unlocks the ability to use Holy Trinity for the wound bonus, and Morven Val in a separate Supreme Command attachment. Morven Val as the Warlord, but without her Warlord trait, so she doesn't get the natural hits and wound rerolls in melee. She's going to have to target herself with them, but that's typically what you're going to be doing. So it looks like we are pushing the Harpies super far forward. 42-inch move on that model, if we're using that Turbogon Imperative. Looks like we're going to blow up 4 Sacrosants with a bombing run. You do have to get rid of those Sacrosants early. They are going to be dangerous. I imagine that Dylan has chosen the Passion for his Holy Rite, his Sacred Rite, excuse me. Which means that those Sacrosants are pretty dangerous. 3 attacks each and exploding 6s. They potentially get another attack from the Dogmata, so they're swinging 4 attacks, and they don't really take swing back damage from these little Termagant units. So they can kind of wade into the Termagant unit and be relatively safe, so you got to get rid of those guys very quickly. And now it looks like the other Harpy going to be moving forward to try to get some line of sight onto these Sororitas in the back. Now, I'm a little bit worried about Indicius' play here, because these Harpies don't really have too much... they have nothing defensively, effectively. The Harpy that has the Synaptic Enhancement, which is the one on the bottom here, does have a permanent transhuman built in. The other Harpy does additional mortal wounds. But I think what we could have done potentially is kept the Harpies in hover mode and just squeaked lines of fire down this line here and kept them safe from multi-melta shots on the swing back. And this is one thing that you always see aircraft as being this sort of huge alpha strike threat, but the downside is that they oftentimes will trade down. Now, as we saw in the game yesterday, there are certainly some positional benefits to pushing your aircraft super far forward, but usually you won't get their full points value in a single round of shooting. So you end up, if you go first and push your Harpies super far, then they... they can do a bunch of damage, but they end up just doing it for one turn instead of getting sustained. So it looks like we're going to be losing a couple more Repentia here to a second bombing run out of the other Harpy. So 2 Repentia going down there. Not too bad from the mortal wounds. Those Repentia do have a... they do survive the mortal wounds pretty well. We're on the 8s today, chat, for sure. 8 a.m. this morning. We got one more game, 8 p.m. And that is all the Warhammer for Season 6 until the Invitational starts. And then we're going to have a little bit of a break between bottom of Season 6 and the Invitational. The game plan is to start posting lists for public, or the new maps for public testing this week, and we will probably start pods the coming week for the new map pool, which should be good. Thranwheel in chat, how's it going? So the real question here is how much damage these Harpies do. They are equipped with Venom Cannons, so they do have a pretty decent weapon at punching through the Sororitas armor saves, because they are in cover, they are in light cover, they do have armor contempt. It may be that the Harpies just dump everything they can into Sister's Repentia to make sure that we kill them. I think one dangerous thing that could happen is the Repentia have such explosive attacks that they can jump into the Termagants, and they can actually kill the Termagant squad if Indicius doesn't pull casualties well enough, or if Dylan rolls high enough. And if they clip the Termagant squad, I think this almost entire Tyranid army falls apart very quickly. Once you lose that, this style of Leviathan Tyranid army oftentimes becomes kind of an open question of how you deal with the Termagant unit. If you can kill the Termagant unit, oftentimes this list falls apart. If you can't kill the Termagant unit, you will lose on primary objectives.
Could cast a hollow on you for fun. Yeah, okay,
R
one of these
is-
own groups is just gonna cast a hollow on that pinch the squad. So
R is pretty relevant.
don't think that goes off.
Does go off on a 5.
Nope, it's a 5. Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah,
So
-2
this
leadership.
squad will cast a hollow.
And they have lost 2 models already, so this actually gives them a chance to fail morale. And it also adds a combat attrition modifier too.
Everyone has the hollow and one has what's 4? Onslaught. Yeah, you didn't need that. So this. Just give me a sec. I'll just write it in so I don't forget. Hollow, onslaught.
What Tyranid list will be best in Arcs of Omen? I think it moves to sort of a horde list. I think that the most consistent lists run this Termagant brick, and then they run like lots of Hormagaunts, and backed up by Hive Tyrants and things. That feels to me like it's going to be the strongest. I've been playing Carnifexes mostly because it's a meme. That feels more interesting, but I don't think it's quite as powerful. I do think that Tyranids they move to like solidly mediocre for the most part. So it looks like we're dropping Spore Mines from the Biovores now. I really like the Biovores in this style of list specifically. We saw them in the Kraken list earlier, and they were just kind of they just forced your opponent to shoot some small arms fire into the Spore Mines, and sometimes they did mortal wounds. It wasn't that big of a steal. Love this position for the Spore Mines as well. They're going to be placed around the Harpy to make it as difficult as possible for the Zephyrum to get a good engagement on the Harpy without losing models going in. But the interesting thing here is that you want to be putting as many shots as you can into the Termagant squad, because the Termagants are essentially what's going to be killing you. The addition of those Biovores gives you what is basically an equivalent profile. The Spore Mines, they do have a 6+ armor saves. They go to a 5+ in cover. They're C3 just like the Termagants. But you have to deal with them, which means that they end up peeling a lot of damage from the Termagant squad to the Spore Mines themselves. And that means that you take less casualties in the Termagant brick as your army goes, as the game goes.
8 auto shots into the same squad. Those all fell. 5s. 2 on your 3 up.
Take 1, 95.
Thank you.
So shots going into the Rhino here.
So just him. He's going to put his big guns into
It's a very interesting, interesting target selection. The Rhino does have Retributors in it, so killing the Rhino is going to peel off a couple of those Retributors, but mostly you're going to be losing the Sister Superiors. But right now, the Retributors aren't hurting anyone. If the first Harpy killed the Rhino, which is very unlikely, the other Harpy could have maybe laid into the Retributors, but I think there was a position where it would have been difficult to keep them entirely safe. And then also the other downside here is if Indicius kills the Rhino, the Retributors actually they become targetable from command phase buffs. So the Dogmata and Morvenval can suddenly give buffs to them, and Morvenval's especially means that a Retributor squad will probably just take down a Heartbeat by itself. Without that, they have a little bit of trouble doing it. They have to get some help from nearby characters or Miracle Dice in order to have a chance. But Morvenval's full reroll is basically spells death with the Heartbeat. So if we actually did end up killing the Rhino, that would have been pretty big. Pretty bad for Indicius, actually. So I'm a little curious as to why he's not targeting down the infantry squads here.
4. Take 1.
Okay. 8 shots into that sister squad.
Pinged
Yep.
a Sacrosanct down.
On 3s. And on 3s. 3, 2 ups. If they,
Yeah.
they're getting covered, so 2 ups.
This is the Battle Sisters, right?
Yep, Battle Sisters.
Cool.
Okay,
Take
lose one. Okay, on your Sacrosanct on the 2 up. Yes,
Yep.
D3 Mortals.
There's the Voracious Ammunition.
4-1.
Killing another guy.
Cool.
Yeah, that's not... that's not quite the damage output you want to see from 500 points of Harpies in your opponent's deployment zone. We've killed 7 Sacrosants and a Battle Sister. Okay.
Yep.
A little dangerous here as well because these Harpies do not have an invulnerable save right now. So they are most likely just going to die here. Oh my god. And we placed them close enough for Celestine to intervene? Oh my god, what a nightmare. Well, you know, we can't be perfect all the time. Indicius, you know, it's an early game. I know he is in Europe, so it's actually an early afternoon game. But maybe Odysseus just rolling out of bed. You know, it's got a little going on. Maybe he's a little groggy. Maybe he's a little hungover. Big night last night, Saturday night. Just getting Tarpy stabbed by Celestine on the first turn.
Just go straight to damage.
Yeah, that was not good. I don't want to say GG, Chad. I think it's too early for that. Reverse puntage can certainly happen, and obviously, you can run into situations where this Termagant squad in the middle of the table just survives. And there are certain in as many games as your opponent dices the Termagant squad out and takes the middle objective and your army falls apart, there are equally as many games where they fail to kill it by 1. It regenerates 15 models every turn, and you push your opponent out of primary. So it looks like 7 wounds from Celestine. It's the Harpy. Well. That's unfortunate, chat. That's unfortunate. Oh, kills a Gemini Superior. Get wrecked, Celestine. You can't even bring it back. Actually, can't she? Her action completes in the shooting, or performs in the shooting phase. Is that right? No, she definitely can't. Ha, get wrecked. It's dead in real life. Well, that's something, I guess. Oh, I guess we killed a total of... we killed 2 Repentia as well. Looks like another Sacrosant runs away. The Repentia, currently -4 leadership, so a 5 or a 6 they could run. No, they're fine. Yeah, I think the dangerous part for Indicius here is the glut of flying that his opponent has in the back. I would still be a little bit worried about this if there wasn't the Zephyrum here, just because the amount of shooting that like Retributors and Morvenval can put out can certainly kill Harpies really easily. But with the Zephyrum standing back here, it's very dangerous. And I do think that one thing will happen, which is that if Indicius plays this aggressively and he forces Dylan into pushing his models forward in response, that means that the interaction that we discussed earlier, where you can use Chorus of Spiritual Fortitude to blunt the vast majority of incoming damage from the Zoanthropes, this huge phalanx of Zoanthropes standing in the back here, that's going to be less impactful because Indicius can just maneuver the Zoanthropes so that they hit the units that are moving forward that are not Chorus of Spiritual Fortitude. I believe that Catalyst and Hive Nexus were cast on the Gaunts, chat. Indicius not using tokens. It's interesting that we saw in both games we've seen this weekend, these Harpies play super aggressively and play super, aggro and get up in their opponent's face. But I think in neither case was it entirely the right call. Especially since these Harpies did have they had lines of sight onto Sororitas units that they didn't need to move over there to do. They could have just generated Spore Mines, used the Spore Mines to defend objectives, stayed out of multi-melta range, and just probably clipped this entire Zephyrum squad with shooting. Which would have been a big deal. I think aircraft players in specific, I don't want to say Tyranid players, I think players with aircraft, it's like a drug moving your aircraft super far forward on the first turn. It's just too exciting. Everyone's just psyched to do it. Like, here we go. Let's fight. Big fight. And it's almost never the right call. You see Tau players do it all the time too. Their Sunshark bombers just fly over, do a bombing run, shoot at something, and then don't kill their points value and just die. And for a unit that doesn't hold objectives and doesn't really, it gives you too many positional benefits. If you just give your opponent the ability to counter it immediately, then it's really a bad call.
Nope.
Okay, that makes my life immeasurably easier.
Yeah, if these Gaunts ever don't get the full gamut of buffs, there is a pretty significant chance that they get knocked down. You do have to kill them, though. If the Zephyrum squad goes in, they're 4 attacks apiece, so they're 28 attacks with explosions. They probably kill the unit. But if they don't, then they just give their lives away for nothing, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I guess 5 if the Warhymn goes down. The Dogmata is in that ruin, so yeah, it could be hitting the Zephyrum over here.
So we can put Zephyrum here. These guys there. Our sisters get to move up. Kind of nice. We're going to advance those with Venture. A whole 2 inches, yay! There we go.
So here come the Retributors out of the Rhino. No rerolls on these ladies today, besides Morphin Ball's just normal aura. But they basically... The Harpies are the #1 thing that they want to be shooting at in this game. Once the Termagant unit gets removed, they'll be useful to shoot at the Tervagon. But their kind of reason to be here is to try to kill this
1, 2,
Harpy.
3, 4,
There's nothing else in the Tyranid army that's quite as dangerous.
and I'm actually thinking, might I even need the Zephyr over here? It's good for stuff, maybe. So I can also get out there and be fine. Can all see the tail, and everyone's in range. I think we need to get
Zephyr am I immune to psychic, eh?
the Zephyr immune to psychic, yeah.
Okay.
And then what means Vol can go up to like here. Within six. We would have given full rerolls to the Zephyr because Celestine wasn't in range.
No problem.
So the Battle Sisters will also do Sacred Grounds over here.
Okay.
And I haven't got enough action I can do. And it's over to shooting, I guess. Yeah, shooting. So we'll go the first Retributor unit. For any strats.
No, I can't do anything. It's already transhumaned.
Cool. So 8 shots. Rerolling ones to hit. Cool. 2 hits.
So interesting, we didn't move Celestine.
Yeah.
We could
Two
have,
wounds.
I'm just right to
I believe, moved her out of
Yep.
engagement because it is an
So, first one.
aircraft, and then just charged back
Two
in if we
wounds.
needed it. But that means that this other Harpy is not
next
going to be
one
shot at, it's just going to be
is-
attacked in melee.
So 4.
Could be a mistake.
down to 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a great round of shooting from that first
We'll use
Retributor
the
squad
cherub.
either. Gonna drop a Cherub on
2
them.
shots. 1 hit.
They're not really in danger, but I guess we do want to
No
use
worries.
it as much as we can. Fails to wound. Uh-oh.
We'll do.
I mean, to be fair, I do.
5 rolling.
I think that's Harpy
So
is
I
gonna
thought
die
I'd
to
just
the
get
Zephyrum for sure.
1 hit would be thing. No wounds. Come on. Cool. 1 hit. 1 wound. AP1. So
Yeah, it's fine.
other multi-metal unit will go in.
Here's the second Retributor squad.
Go.
Good go.
Okay.
Hey,
4
solid.
hits. There's 1 at a time.
Wounds.
Wound. Wound.
Oh my god.
I think he's dead.
Oh no! Just
I
vaporize
just need
it.
to try and get miracle dice in as sort of. So we'll go.
Just go high enough and you just kill him outright. Or you use that little good.
Now, interestingly, that does mean that the
Oh, I
Zephyrum
can use
unit's
them.
going to be kind of standing here awkwardly.
Go. 3.
It doesn't really want to charge into the Spore Mines. Maybe just be able to clear the Spore Mines with Pistol Fire and random bolter shots from like the Rhino and things.
He does. They take D3.
And the Harpy freaks out on them. So crashes into the Zephyrum for 3 mortal wounds. Oh my god. Take this. I couldn't deal that much damage with my actual activation, so we're gonna kill you in death. All right. So this actually does mean that the Zephyrum probably don't kill these 4 mines now, and they certainly don't want to charge them. Killing even more of these ladies would be awkward. But at least we got rid of the Harpy. That's fine. Just unfortunate that the Zephyrum didn't stay a little bit farther back here. Now, one thing that's interesting is that we do see Dylan using keeping his models an inch away from the walls here, so that to make the charges difficult on them. But the thing to keep in mind about this Tyranid army is that it's like it doesn't actually do that much damage in melee. It's all termagants, which are just guardsman equivalents, basically. If the Repentia were in charge range and the Termagants were able to charge them to get onto the wall, they the Repentia would actually deal so much damage to the Termagant unit that I don't think it would be that worth it. And because the Termagants are 25mm base, it's actually very difficult to entirely screen them from being able to charge. So I'm not sure about Dylan's positioning here, because what he could have had enough space that the Zephyrum could have stood back and then charged the Harpy if it didn't get killed by the Retributor shots.
2 more shots. It's rapid fire.
Vehicles don't always get rapid fire.
Yeah, but it would be 4 shots because it's a rapid fire 2 gun.
Yeah, but it's.
Oh, you should. They're not on the
I
terrain.
can't shoot the Harpy.
They shouldn't be on the terrain. But anyway, yeah, 1 dies anyway. So, boop. Okay, here we go.
Cool.
Should be-
And I think the Gemini will just put a
Pistol
shot
into-
in. Yep. Misses. Cool.
Okay.
Combat.
I will smack you 4 attacks. Or kill a backup dancer. Maybe. Force to hit. Nope. That was and 2 wounds. 2 wounds on your. Yep.
And during Miracle Ice, it's a 1. So, yep.
Yeah, backup dancer dies.
Wow,
Harpy.
Harpy.
Too.
Harpy's going ham on these Gemini Superior. Kills both of them. Do get Celestine's attacks here. Just have to convert 3 attacks through, and she will kill it. Do we have 4 pluses on Miracles? I think we do have 1.
One next to the back of Flagons. And
2
leave
more
1 to the side again. How much have you got left? 2.
2 wounds left.
Yeah. There it is. Now freak out. Hit Celestine.
No.
Only got 1. So both Harpies down. Ended up being pretty efficient. We're probably going to lose the Zephyrim to shooting on the swing back, but I think Dylan's fine with that. Trading not even an entire Sacrosanct squad and a couple Repentia and 1 Zephyrim squad for both Harpies is certainly fine. So we do get the Spore Mines to activate. They may try to go into the Repentia and drop the Repentia down lower. Those Zephyrim are immune to psychic powers right now, so the Zone Threps can't smite them, but they can arc potentially some mortal wounds probably into the other ruin over here to kill some of the other Zephyrim. And then I think we're just going to see Indicius kind of consolidate this position in the middle of the table. He's down a lot of points, but he is going to be starting to get 12 points on primary. And Dylan, I think, recognizing, and this is why we see these Zephyrim sort of staging in the front corner of this ruin, what he needs to do is not undercommit into the Termagant squad, because that's the easiest way to lose this matchup, is you only send 1 unit into the Termagants, or you don't combat activate in the correct manner, where you give both of your units the opportunity to fight. And some intelligent casualty pulls makes it difficult to engage with multiple units. And then if you leave the Termagants alive, they just continue to come back and hold that middle objective and score 12 points. So I think what's going to happen here is that Dylan's going to... He's going to lose his Zephyrim. He's going to be okay with it. He's going to take a couple mortal wounds and things, and then he's going to push super far forward. He's probably going to try to remove... I imagine that we're on Neurothrope Imperative this turn, or Zoanthrope Imperative this turn. I can't quite see. Try to remove the invulnerable save on that unit, hit them with Zephyrim and a Repentia squad, as well as shooting. And go from there.
I'll take my... Yeah, got nothing, yeah. I won't take anything. I don't need it. Try to touch the map today. Oh, not much.
So it sounds like no Imperative. We're just going to cast the 5+ invulnerable save on the Termagants instead, I think. Indicius probably saving that invulnerable save Imperative for the turn that the Tervagon needs an invulnerable save, which is probably this coming turn. I think it's unlikely that the Tervagon gets charged here because it's going to be physically body blocked out by the Termagants. But once that thing goes to a 4+ invulnerable save, it does become very legitimately difficult to kill.
Okay, let you pick them up fine. I'm just gonna move these guys in there. They'll advance, blow them up. Let's see how much damage they do.
Yep.
Just one mortal.
Oh, take my time.
Okay.
1 Zephyrim down. We're getting there. And then we have Shard Gullets in range. Shard Gullet should kill 1 or 2 for sure. And then we just have mass fire from the Tervagon and all the Termagants that are going to go into them. To probably kill the last one. I do dearly want to see the Tervagon get in range of this Zephyrim unit to drop a Neuroparasite through on them.
This own tropes over here will do the action on this point. Just flutter over here. Blue screen.
Day Rakos, thanks to follow, by the way. I don't know if I missed you earlier. Appreciate you. So I hope everyone's having a good weekend. We got a lot of 40K going on this weekend, which I'm psyched for. Is anybody playing? Anybody get games in yesterday? No, there are a couple RTTs going on. I had a local RTT that I could have gone to. Ended up streaming instead, which I feel good about. But it was not playing Arcs of Omen format, and I was like, oh. It's old school format. I've been playing Arcs of Omen for a while. Not really feeling it. So it looks like Shardgala angling in to try to hit the Sacrosancts with a Psychic Scream, I imagine. This is a little dangerous. The Hive Tyrant is your Warlord, so if the Hive Tyrant goes down, you actually lose your Synaptic Imperatives.
Psychic.
But, yeah, I could get hit by a Repentia squad right here. Should be...
Psychic.
It's not particularly healthy to be charged by Repentia. Nurgle in chat, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Okay, so the Tyrant will Psychic Scream. He gets it, deny if you wish.
Yep. Tyrants on Psychic Scream. I'll roll a 6 and see. No, that's fine.
Okay, he's gonna hit those Sacrosancts.
I'm also a little bit worried about these Termagants because we've pulled them out of cover. And the cover is actually relevant in this case because we have so much AP1 or AP0 shooting on them. So between all these Battle Sisters, the Rhino, random bolt pistols and things, that's a lot of cover saves we could potentially be taking in this matchup that we may not be able to. And now that the shooting's been laid relatively low, Dylan can actually play a little bit more aggressively with his Battle Sister squads. If Shard Gullet's putting shots into a Battle Sister squad instead of Zephyrum or something, I think Dylan's feeling pretty good.
Because he has... Yep, Roxism. Yay, thank you. We shall put this on 2. It goes off, it goes off. Deny if you wish.
We'll give it a go. Goes off.
Yeah, I'll put it on to these guys. He's
Cool.
Zephyrum. Okay, he's done. Targon will try to interrogate.
Yep.
She does. Will you deny?
We will try. We will then roll a 4.
Oh my
Next stop.
God, you actually made it. I do hate that you have that ability, but anyway. Yep. The horror. Okay, so Turbogon, that's done. Zone Tropes will cast the horror. Okay, they cast it. One of these people are in deny range, so just chuck a 6.
Is it this unit?
Yep, that unit.
Cool.
No, wait, not that unit, this unit, sorry. Because that one's doing an action. So these guys will.
We're still in range. Go, roll a 6.
Nope.
No.
So these guys will be minus. Yep, these guys are -1 leadership. Probably not gonna matter. And then buffs from the neutral 5-up Invo. He gets it because of +1. 5-up Juno Pain. He gets it because of he's up. He just has too much to cast.
Yep.
So these guys are buffed up again. Oh, by the way, they're raising a banner on the center. So I only
No,
got
that's fine.
2 points for that. Yep. Okay, so now we will go on to the shooting. We shall make more mines.
So I didn't discuss it earlier, but Indicius has actually taken Grind Them Down as a secondary here, which I think is going to be extremely dangerous. He got destroyed on Grind last turn, given that he killed not even a full squad, right? He didn't even wipe a unit. Which I guess does explain why he went so hard into the Rhino to try to get that grind point, but lost both Harpies. And I don't think there was a universe where the Harpies survived that aggressive play. So I'm a little worried about Indicius here. Because Sororitas can play so passively, they don't really have any need to push super far forward, and so Indicius only gets grind if he plays really passively himself as well, and is able to get one unit with Psychic Powers, for example, and then stay safe. So it might be online this coming turn. He has killed a unit this turn so far. He will most likely kill the Zephyrim, so he should get 2 kills here.
Ugh, he still missed. And these are 2s to kill. I'll use his warlord trait. Oh, come on. Anyway,
Jesus.
one on your
So
team.
Shard Gullet with its essentially full rerolls rerolled 2 1s into
Oh,
1s.
five up in one, yeah.
It's a little bit awkward.
Just read Leap perfectly.
And then I think probably gets Miracle Dice away. So Shard Gullet does nothing. Oh no, are we not even going to kill this FRM squad, chat? Oh, this is a disaster. I do like the placement of the Spore Mines here. We have put the Spore Mines in the way to block charges into the Hive Tyrant, so we're going to force casualties on anything trying to go into that Hive Tyrant. The Repentia also aren't the best unit in the world at attacking the Foot Hive Tyrants. They are T8, and T8's a little bit of a weak point for Repentia, but we can give them full rerolls from Morphin Ball. But, again, if they get the full rerolls, then the Zephyrum don't get it, and then the Zephyrum do consequently that fewer damage. And then we have the huge Termagant Brick shooting into the Zephyrum as well. Gonna see if we can clip them out with on their 2+ save. 14 saves going through. Reasonable chance that we get it. Still about to slow roll these. He is.
Do you have any other shots that can go into them?
1 failed,
One set.
2 failed.
2. That's fine.
3 failed.
I mean, that one's just unlucky.
There's no one
They
else.
did bounce Shard Gullet, to be fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't complain too much. So maybe we see a CP reroll here to try to keep the unit alive. No, we're just going to leave it. So 2 kills on the board for Indicius, maybe online for grind. Those Spore Mines don't count because it's a victory condition. So there's a potential that Dylan sort of pushes out really far here and is able to get the Hive Tyrant and the Termagant unit or something, but I think that is a little bit dangerous.
Yep. We do Sacred Grounds.
It's quite nutty that you just scored 10 in just 1 turn, but anyway.
Yeah. We'll go. Yeah, cool. Okay, so drop us the turn over to me. I mean, the clock.
I already have passed the turn over to you.
I meant the clock.
Oh, so. There you go.
Okay, so.
So question here is what the game plan is for Sororitas. Do we try to push forward and sort of go for broke and kill this Termagant unit? We can see the... I mean, this is the classic dynamic. We saw it play out almost exactly this way in the last game. Tyranids up on primary in a big way, getting a 12 to an 8-point swing, but have effectively no secondaries. It looks like I think both psychic interrogations have been denied. I think the last turn we got the 6+ psychic interrogation block. And then Sisters also have a 4+ deny on psychic interrogation.
I don't even think that's more interesting.
Well, I suppose now it's quite hard now since it lost Armor of Contempt.
Yeah, it's losing Armor of Contempt was actually kind of hurt. That.
You got some chance to do if you want to do one.
Okay. Okay. So, start the command phase. We're going to give. I mean, that is doable.
Yeah, so we're gonna see if we can push Celestine into the Hive Tyrant. Man, this Hive Tyrant, that T8 and 2+ armor is decent, But I don't know if it's decent enough to survive what Sisters can do.
Okay, so start looking at
I'm so interested in this aggressive position for this Hive Tyrant. I think Indicius just wants to be able to basically, with the Harpies down, I think he basically just wants his opponent to overextend and then get a little bit diced. Looks like we have a 6, 5, and 1 in Miracle Dice, which is almost perfect. We have a good charge, an 11-inch charge if we need it. We can almost potentially get the Repentia in from basically outside line of sight onto the Hive Tyrant.
Cool.
So the Invitational gets streamed to YouTube and Twitch, chat. But my normal streams on YouTube, people don't tend to watch on YouTube if I stream there. So I don't typically stream to YouTube.
Dice tried to run away. Alright, cool.
In fact, sometimes I get hate mail when I stream to YouTube, which is always fun.
And then it's just... oh yeah, the Repentia Superior Miracle Dice is a 6. She's just going to run on the spot in a circle. Okay, so I need to deal with those Spore Mines. I need to deal with... Okay. Okay, so... I think that's probably what we do then. How many have you got on this center point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. 15. We're not taking it off you with 15.
Yeah, and the thing to keep in mind there too is that because very similar to how things like Poxwalkers and Necrons work, if the Termagants do get removed, the Indicius can pull models from the back of the unit and then use the regeneration ability to put them back in the front, so you can actually have more models on the objective than it looks like currently.
Cool. What's next? Next is this side. So we've already done the scan action over here. We've done Sacred Ground on both.
Yep.
Have to deal with Spore Mines somehow. It's a really annoying Spore Mine unit. How dare you?
It's very annoying when you go 9 of them.
Yeah.
How dare! How dare you!
Okay, so...
You just kept the Biowars like they had them. That you actually had to shoot the gun instead of doing a stupid action. But anyway.
Yeah.
Or just change it all to one shot. But
Yeah, Biowars they've been a strangely designed unit. I'm not sure they ever have really worked particularly well. The weird part about doing the action, I think either way there's gamification of it. And the action they have to perform means only one Biowar unit can do it at a time, which is very bizarre. But if you make it so they have to shoot their gun, the thing that happened in 8th edition, which is you try to gamify it in such a way that the Biowar misses its attack because the Spore Mine is a higher value than the actual direct hit. It was always weird. At least now the Spore Mine, when it connects, actually guarantees those damage. It used to be able to do damage on the 2+, so sometimes you could just fail to do damage.
I'm just going to advance those with Enter.
good dice to make sure.
So looks like we're not going to be angling to put the Repentia there. Now if
Cool.
and the question that Biovores generate is that if you don't deal with the Spore Mines will just continuously be they'll deal damage and then be replaced immediately. So you have to continue to kind of push back the tide, and that means you have to expose your units to Shard Gullet and to all the little gun shooting. It's a little bit awkward.
Wait. No, they should actually just stay back.
It's a 3-inch detonation, not a 1-inch. Yeah, and they fly.
Yep. But you move 3, so the max you can go is 9. But you can't finish a move within an inch. What? You're going to need like a 5-inch advance to get there?
Yeah, so trying to make it so that the Spore Mines don't clip a Battle Sister squad. Or the Canoness, yeah.
See why we just go like that. And then that. And then we just sort of block them out. Then the Battle Sisters move over. We move some Retributors like around a little bit. Yeah. Vol can move up, I guess. We'll move Celestine first. Yeah, so we can move like Vol up to there. Because she can't get an angle. And then... So I've dropped down some Zephyr. Oh wait, no, I do need to do a little bit of shooting with Vol, actually. We'll just poke the spear out the side of the wall as usual.
So the other danger for Dylan here is that if he undercommits into the Termagant unit, which it looks like is going to happen, and we're just bringing Zephyr in over here, is that what's happening? Yeah. Interesting, okay. We did have one unit in reserve up in the air, but just going to be placing it on the table.
Not the objective.
This is my objective. Forever. And ever.
Yep.
And ever.
Just like the middle is mine.
You can have the middle. Okay, so what was that noise?
Hmm?
Cool. So we'll go
Yeah, so not pushing to the Termagant squad at all. So the Termagant unit can potentially push forward, and if we get enough models on this objective, it does have objective secured there. But if they get a big advance, or even charge the Repentia, which is dangerous, but might be worth the effort. Actually, even charge the Battle Sister squad here, to be honest. I think that, yeah, you can get a line there. I was talking a big game that charging Repentia is probably not that great for the Termagants, but I think charging the Battle Sisters is just fine. If that Termagant unit does push into the Battle Sisters, that means that they could drop Dylan down to a 4-point primary. It stretches the Termagant unit, so they do have to...
and then 3 shots from Fidelis, we'll use a 1-on-1.
They open themselves up to more avenues of engagement, so you probably lose them the coming turn. But I don't think that you end up losing the center objective that turn.
Can't figure out how to do
Or at least not in a way that isn't beneficial to you.
unless like
So Indicius could use that to try to
that is technically allowed.
continue the
Vol's gonna charge the spawn mines.
Just use it twice.
Yeah, we're just gonna use a 5.
primary objective benefit.
Yep.
Yeah, she
And then
nope. Yeah, I don't think she can make it even with that.
not making it. I got slightly concerned.
So Dylan,
We have to roll a 13.
just in order to get Leap of Faith points, just burning points on Miracle Dice on charges that he doesn't need. Did roll an 11-inch charge by accident from Morvenval into the Spore Mines, which would be funny if she had successfully made it. But yeah, it was a legal charge to declare, but an impossible charge to actually make, which means it's totally fine to burn dice on it. So that means that Dylan's going to continue to tick up that leap of faith. We're going to score another 12-point primary turn for Indicius. And so I guess the question here is, you know, if this game continues out as it has been, does Indicius end up winning? And unfortunately, the fact that he's been denied twice on Psychic Interrogation, I think, made dumpster it for him. He can score out what is probably a 12 on banners from right now. He should get grind them down, right? Because he killed 2 units that turn and didn't lose any.
Yep.
So 5 dice.
Can they all get there first?
I think. Let me just roll it before I do that. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's 2. What the hell did I go? Just give me a sec. Where's that damn?
2 5s, a 6, a 4, and a 2. So 1, 2, and then 3.
So 2 plus 2d plus d. So that is that, and these are the extras. I think that's ended.
Oh my god.
Yep, keep rolling.
What a roll. That was a nut roll right there, chat. So 5 Spore Mines hit the Zephyrim unit. No duds. Rolled 7 dice on D3 mortal wounds.
And then
Disgusting. That's insanity. Yeah, and I imagine Dylan probably kicking himself for not dealing with that Spore Mine unit. And that is why you have to continue to deal with them. And again, right, we're sort of seeing it come into play where the Spore Mines draw so much focus from the Termagants, right? Morvenval could have easily killed that Spore Mine unit. She had to be in an awkward position to do that. But I think she could have if she maybe poked around this side, or she'd come a little bit farther over here and gotten lookouts around down here. But you don't get the shots into the Termagant unit to try to sort of thin the numbers. And you have to make the decision whether or not you shoot the Spore Mines or you shoot the Termagants. And I think in that situation, it was just the wrong call.
Okay.
Not to mention the fact that was a sort of mildly ludicrous roll. So we're going to be encircling the prey on the Zoanthrope unit, so they can, at the end of the movement phase, they can pop up into Strategic Reserve. Or into Deep Strike, and then they Deep Strike normally next turn. I kind of like that use case. Now that we have all the Zephyrim units on the table, we're not really worried about those models coming in, so we don't have to screen the backline anymore. Indicius actually does have the... he has the flexibility to start pushing his Psykers forward, and since only 1 unit can be immune to Psychic Powers at a time, basically giving him the option to Deep Strike, it lets him attack from angles at which they hit different units.
Nothing else in Deep Strike. These gargoyles up here will do the action.
Yeah.
Actually, yep, they're going to do this.
Did you get grind last turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got the mission thing. These guys are going to come over here and do the action.
Yep.
But if they... no, they should...
Yeah, honestly, like, I don't... I did. The Spore Mines were certainly like too efficient for their points cost, but it's a style of gameplay that I'm not sad to see gone from Tyranids. It's like very passive. It's very do nothing, and I don't love that. So I am as sad as I am that Biovores like went from being very good to being entirely unplayable, which I think is like too dramatic of a shift. I don't care that much. And then once you get... Sometimes you just hit nut rolls like that, and then you feel bad because there's nothing your opponent could realistically do. And it's like it's such a low chance that they deal as much damage as that they did in that instance. But it's still a possibility, and it happens once in a while. I remember at one point I rolled 9 Spore Mines generated from a Biovore unit. My opponent didn't have the opportunity to kill them, and I ran them into a 10 model objective security unit on an objective, and they one-shot it. And just cleared the objective for me. And it was just, you know, they rolled a 6 to advance, rolled a bunch of 5s and 6s on damage, a couple 1s. but they got offset and then rolled, you know, more mortal wounds than I had models, and wiped his unit. And felt kind of bad about it, honestly. It's just like the dice. So we're gonna be dropping some Psychic Screams into the Repentia. Looks like we killed 2 Repentia so far. So Dylan right now, assuming that nothing changes here, we certainly could have taken Dylan's objective number 4 this turn. I think pretty easily, honestly, for Indicius.
What's the range on Crocs?
It is 18.
Okay.
Dylan's getting a 32 plus probably 2 scour strategic scans. So a 38 on primary, and Indicius, at this point, it's unlikely that Indicius doesn't score the full 45, right?
Okay, so the horror.
He already has 24 in the bank. He's going to get 6 on strategic scans.
From where?
Yep.
So that's 30.
No, wait, hold on.
And then if he gets 2 8s, then he just gets it.
No, I can't do that. Stop it. You can't do nothing there. Yep, Telvagon will interrogate to no avail. Yeah, he interrogates the knight.
Okay.
So that means that there is only a 7-point difference between the two. And right now,
No, go, go.
Oh my god.
because Indicius is playing so passively, I don't really...
Celestine is not
that-
leadership 9, is she?
There's basically no way that
Yeah,
the Sororitas secondaries don't end up being
CP for that.
greater than a 7-point buff for Dylan.
Um,
We did get a finally and a psychic interrogation off. So what are we looking at for secondaries here? We can almost math out the result of this game right now. Indicius lost grind last turn. He did expose a gargoyle unit here to protect the Hive Tyrant, which means I think he's going to lose grind this turn. So max he can do on grind is a 9. Max he can do on psychic interrogation is a 9. That's 18. And then banners, he has 3 banners up currently. If those don't go down, he's going to score 9 more. So 13. So that's 31 secondary plus 45 primary. So he's looking at a 76, right? Dylan is looking at 38. He should max Sacred Grounds. Or he should max Defend the Shrine and Leap of Faith for 27. Sacred Grounds for 37. So he's up 6 there, but he's down 7 on primary. So as it stands right now, Dylan is going to be losing by 1, but he has bottom round 5 scoring. So as long as Dylan doesn't take too much damage from just this like passive indirect fire that is slowly being applied to his army, then he will win by 1 point on round 5. Largely because Indicius went first. And I do think that if Indicius had played more cagey on the first turn, I do think that he could have snagged grind on that first turn and put himself in a very dominant position. But he got very aggressive. I also think Indicius could have dropped Dylan down by primary this turn by putting the Termagant on the objective number 4. But it's a little bit riskier for sure, because you might expose the Termagant to get hit if you lose too many Termagants on the Repentia fight.
The
Interesting calculus though so far though, chat. We'll see how it goes. This definitely feels like it's more of like a big brain game than sort of tactical decisions. I think both of these players just generated a strategy for themselves at the start of the game and then called that what just said that was what they're going to do. Indicius did. It looks like he has forgotten to move his Termagants in the back corner here, and that is going to hurt him, I think. Because those models I don't think are in range to get to objective 2 this coming turn, which means that, and there's no obsec there. Not that these models are obsec anyway. But if the gargoyles get removed, then Dylan only needs 4 models on that objective to steal or to contest it. So we may see Indicius start to lose some primary objective points here. Although I think he's still on track to max it, so I don't think that's a big of a deal. So it looks like Battle Sisters are going to be pushing forward to just shoot down the Spore Mines, most likely.
Okay, next we've got... sorry, we're giving full rerolls to the Zeph.
As you wish.
No. What can I do with Zephram in this game? Trying to pass the clock over.
Oh, yeah. I forget about that. So who did you give immunity to Psychic to?
Front unit.
Okay.
Okay, so what can I do with Zephram?
That's supposed to be a 10-man squad. Or is it a 5-man? Or 5-5?
5. 2-5.
I do appreciate that this game's going pretty quick right now, right? Both these players only 30 minutes down on the clock and the game's basically halfway over. We may see Dylan pull out a big round 4 and 5 here, but I think right now with that arithmetic that he's looking to win the game on bottom round 5, I think that should be fine. Indicius does have to, this coming turn, he has to set up to defend Objective 3 as hard as he can. So I would be shocked if we don't see, or at least his round 5, I would be shocked if we don't see literally the entire 30 brick of termagants move to that middle objective. And basically require that Dylan both put objective secured there and kill that unit. And or kill the unit, I guess. Now, what I'd like to see Dylan do here is push these Repentia forward. I think we have to kill the Gargoyles. The Gargoyles are a little defensive against Repentia. Repentia are -1 to be hit. Or -1 to hit with, because they have those Eviscerators. But Gargoyles is that 1 CP strat we saw used to great effect yesterday. To give -1 to hit and prevent rerolls. Which means that the Repentia, because they have Zealot, which is really where they get their accuracy from, it actually becomes difficult for them to fully convert onto those Gargoyles. And I'm a little bit worried if Dylan pushes the Zephram too far forward that he ends up losing too much and doesn't get the opportunity to clear out the objective, the middle objective on the final turn. But right now, he would basically just be dropping Indicius down to an 8-point primary next turn. Even if Indicius gets 2 8-point primary turns, I don't think it actually changes the outcome of the game. I don't think that changes that he'll max his primary. I think that Dylan's just basically just accepted that Indicius is going to get 45 and then is going to move forward operating under that belief. Oh, we're going to push the Zephram. Yeah, so that -1 to hit and no rerolls is a big deal for the Zephram. They can get Zealot from their stratagem, and they probably got rerolls from Morphin Ball. But the Zephram have so many attacks that they will most likely kill the Gargoyles anyway. These models are... Oh, Celestine moving forward too. Wow, this is aggressive. Holy crap. All right. Are we just pushing? Are we just going for gold here? So the dangerous part that I'm a little bit worried about here, chat, is that you give up the opportunity to kill both Celestine and the Zephram and these Battle Sisters. Now, these models are immune to Psychic Power, so that's going to be tough, but these models are not. And if we remember, we have this unit of Zoanthropes in reserve currently, so they're going to be able to pop down wherever is beneficial to them and get line of sight onto these Zephram, whether that's in the center over here or whether that's in the top corner over here, and they can hit either the Zephram or Celestine. And there's a non-zero chance that a single converted Zoanthrope Psychic Power just kills Celestine and forces her respawn. And then the Hive Tyrant has a pretty good chance of doing it himself in melee. And that gives Indicius potentially another turn of grind, which just continues to make the push like that much worse. Morven Vol moving forward to get some shots off. I think that we're pushing Morven Vol to get a frag missile into the Spore Mine unit here. That's what it looks like to me. So between the Battle Sisters and Morven, we can clear the Spore Mines out so we can make sure that we stem the bleeding from those units onto... Or this send the bleeding to grind them down from those Spore Mine drops. I wonder what the over/under is on these Retributors killing the Gargoyles. They don't have Armorium Cherubs anymore, but you could give one full rerolls. And you could just sort of poke one unit out this side and maybe poke one unit out here. I guess they might not have range. So between those two units and Morven Vol, you try to kill the Gargoyles instead of sending the Zephyrim in. You don't get your opponent. You don't get the objective. You aren't able to steal that, but you don't give up anything on grind. I don't think.
Back.
Okay. So this French Superior is advanced on the spot like usual.
Yep.
Walls popped out to the side. We've moved these guys out. So shooting.
Yes.
We'll shoot Vol into Gargoyles.
While shooting the Gargoyles.
2d6.
Are we going for the Hive Tyrant?
6 shots.
Are we going for broke?
3.
So dangerous part is that the Zephyrim, or if this Gargoyle in the center here survives, it may be that it can still apply its Blinding Venom to one of the units coming in on the Hive Tyrant, and I think that's Indicius' plan. Because the Gargoyle just targets a unit with the -1. It's not -1 to hit Gargoyles. Which can be brutal for the Zephyrim. They will suddenly have a lot of... They'll struggle to kill the Hive Tyrant with -1 to hit.
Actually, wait, we'll shoot the Zephyrim and still do a frag grenade and 6 bolt pistols. Frag grenade! Min 3.
You should be on minimum 3.
Full rerolls. 4s, full rerolls. 3 saves.
What's the AP on this?
It's 5s anyway.
Yeah, because I have a shit save. 5s.
Oh,
What?
man! Boss the save against the grenade. I think we are on invulnerable save this turn. We are, yeah. So these models do have a 5+. Trying to keep them alive. Looks like 4 go down to the Zephyrim shots, and then I think we have Celestine's Flamer to try to clip the unit. I don't think that's gonna do it though.
And then we'll do the Flamer from Celestine.
Dangerous.
2 shots.
Not gonna do it.
1 wound.
One more dice.
Go again.
So only 3
These
remaining.
guys over here will put 5 bolts into Spore Mines. So 10 shots.
Now this is a situation where I do think that the grenade probably better, and the Spore Mine save is so terrible that the grenade's pretty good against them.
I'll roll 9 of these. Okay, I'll roll that last one. Cool. 4.
What die? 1, 2, 3.
Not
Okay.
great shot there.
And charges.
Needed Morven's help.
Yep.
Okay. So moment of truth. Get everybody into the Hive Tyrant and the Gargoyles, I guess. But those that Blinding Venom's going to be brutal here.
Give me a second to check something.
About a 4 for both of them.
Okay, we'll just roll the Zephyrim then.
Yep,
That is a 4.
I should be able to pile in a decent amount, so
Not gonna get everyone in now.
I just want to see if you roll that.
I mean, they naturally reroll, so.
Oh, yeah. Hey, better.
Okay, cool. Can your Hive Tyrant Guard heroic?
No, they cannot.
Oh.
They're not obsec, are they?
No.
Okay.
Figure out how to get that one in.
So this thing going for the 8-inch charge? No, it's about it's about 8-inch to get there. What 7-inch?
Yeah, Celestine's going to go in, but she's going to use the 5 and the 6.
Okay.
Oh wait, we just use a 6 and a 2. Yeah, I can.
Okay, where do you want to start? Well, before you start, I'm spending 1 CP on Blinding Venom.
Yeah,
Celestine and Zephyrum. -1 hit, and you can't reroll hit go.
Yeah.
I think you have to target 1 unit with that, right?
Oh wait, let me double check before I do that. Would be nice if I could do double. Blinding Venom. Venom. Yep, 1 enemy unit. So I'll pick the Zephyrum.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, well, that screwed me. They should have just been dead largely, though. That's the problem.
Star Water and 5-up involved. Who do
It,
you want to fight with first?
Zephyrum will go for +1 damage and +1 to wounds.
Okay. So we wouldn't be on 5s.
Yep.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to interrupt. Or fight on death, depending on how. So you got +1 damage, +1 to wound, and? Okay.
Pile in as well, and we'll get them all in. 7. Okay, so we've got 7 of them. That is 3 attacks each, goes to 4 for Bloody Rose.
28 attacks.
Yeah, with 8, so 32, 33.
You get 5 attacks each? Oh, yep. Those.
4 attacks each, +1. There's 8 of them. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. 7 of them. So 29. Pause.
Ouch.
Oh, jeez, come on.
Oh
There's
my
1 CP.
god.
Well, freaking spin.
I mean, they shouldn't have been there. I've had like friggin'. You've had great rolls all game.
You get 2 more explosions. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, I'm added the 2 in. I'm 5s rerolling. Yeah, 7 damage too.
Well,
Let me see now.
it was
Next, so 4.
solid wound roll.
Reroll.
Absolutely
4,
abysmal
still takes 1.
roll to hit here.
Okay.
Is that enough?
6, 12. Okay, I'll take it. I take all that back.
There's only 1 damage, right?
2 damage. Oh no, damn it. It was only the 6s were 2 damage. I've messed that up.
Just
Yeah,
how many?
give me the CPU back.
You only got. Yeah, you can have your CP back.
I mean, 3 of them were 6s.
Unless you want to have 6 damage, and then I have to reroll this damn thing because I would have.
Fine. I'll keep the Okay, what keeps the dice?
Okay, so I'll say 1 of the 2s failed because of I spent the reroll. So now let's just do 4-ups. He takes 2. 4-up is fine. So he takes 2. He took 4 now. These are all 4-ups. He takes another 2. So he took 6 damage.
Okay, sure.
And then I'll spend my 2 CP to interrupt and punch Celestine.
Yeah.
5 attacks. It's on 3s now. Reroll 1s because of his tinny. These are
I'm not
2
entirely
wounds.
sure we did that correctly.
And nobody spent that.
I think
so
the Zephyr
3
and Moon the High
your
Tyrant on
4-ups, though.
6s, but maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
Yep. Okay. First one takes 2 damage. The next one, fine. So she's not dying.
Just take 2. Yeah. Will you kill my warlord?
Shield. Punch him.
All right, moment of truth. Trying to clip the Hive Tyrant here with Celestine
Okay,
swings.
so it's 6 attacks.
Just gonna try to boss some 6s here to get mortal wounds through. Only 1.
We'll spend the miracle dice to make that one 6.
Oh, 2 go through. Yeah, so now we just need 1 converted.
And 1 AP4. You are kidding me.
1 converted hit.
3 blocks. So this takes 4 mortals. Okay.
And only 1 natural wound. Unfortunate. Oh, that was so close! Unfortunately, that T8, winning it on 5s is really tough for Celestine. She's only showing 7.
1 hit. No way to get it low.
And here comes the
Do it.
gargoyle swinging back.
No AP.
Yeah, that's brutal. I do think that we probably needed a little bit more to go into those gargoyles. Just because they had the invulnerable save that turn. It's not super. It's not guaranteed that any of your attacks convert.
Okay.
Trying to get through 10 models with a flamer, however many shots Morvenball decides to get, and 6 pistols or 7 pistols is a little dicey.
Get 12 again.
Yeah.
So Indicius with the 12, and unfortunately didn't clip out the gargoyles on grind there. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little rough. And I think what may be happening very quickly is that Dylan's running out of models, or like running out of attack volume to clear the middle objective. So he may just run out of stuff to take a 12-point primary on the bottom of round 5. I don't think he's going to lose primary. We do have another option for this gargoyle unit to go try to steal primary, and I think if Indicius sees that line of play, he may end up swinging the game in his favor. Right now, obviously, as we mathed out previously, assuming that Dylan can get the bottom round 5 scoring, he should be okay. But potentially losing the Zephyrum and Celestine for very little gain is going to be awkward. Although it does mean that, we have to deal with those models, which is certainly obnoxious. If only the Dogmata had been in this ruin instead of the other ruin, so it could give objective secured to the Zephyrum.
These guys are just bouncing around to their sisters.
Yeah.
Yep, double D3s. That would be the squad.
You've rolled ridiculous every time.
Oh my god, 3 Spore Mines kill 5 Battle Sisters?
No, but it's more broken when you're rolling every single time, and then all of your D3s have been 2s and 3s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Dylan here. It's
those guys will set stone.
the interaction is already pretty strong, but obviously when you roll just about 60% 5-ups, it does significantly more damage. You average about 1.1 mortals off of each Spore Mine, so you should get slightly more mortal wounds than you have Spore Mines. But Indicius has so far almost doubled. He got almost 2 for 1 on his Spore Mine damage. So putting the huge Termagant brick in the center. Looks like the Turvagon's actually leaving the center objective. A little dangerous. Turvagon does give a second instance of objective secured. I wonder if we may see the push this turn to try to clip that unit. Right now, the primary objective difference doesn't really matter. I think Indicius can just fully fill out his primary objective side, and it will be fine.
That's that. End of the phase. They're gonna pop over here.
Yep.
It's not that. No, that's his wasn't. Last. Could take the tank out. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. You roll a 6, kill all your stuff, and then we can end the game.
We also have the out here for Dylan that we were sort of mathing, assuming that Psychic Interrogation continues to proc, and we mathed assuming the grind continues to proc as well. If Psychic Interrogation gets denied by Dylan, and I think he just burns CP on trying to stop that right now. I think that's the best that he has.
Snap goes off, damage.
Then he can. Is that Celestine going down? Then obviously that score differential continues to expand.
Yep.
Deny if you wish.
Can we roll a 6?
You overdue one.
The 6 here on Celestine
Nope, we
would
just
be
can't all game.
huge.
Do your damage.
That will kill him.
Does she come back?
She does respawn at the end of the phase.
End of the phase, but
Yeah, might actually be back here. Hilarious. Which would be great for her.
Yep.
But I think that is probably correct. It's the closest possible position to her original, outside of engagement range of enemies.
Cool.
Interestingly, that does mean that the Hive Tyrant can't shoot her, so I actually think she survives. Maybe the Tyrant Guard kill her, but they have swords, which is not great. Oh no, you have to kill. We have to leave a guy in melee. Yeah, there you go. Don't pull that Hive Tyrant out. Don't let the Hive Tyrant shoot Celestine and kill her.
Yep.
She interrogates.
So
Stop.
interrogation goes off. No natural
Okay,
stop.
I'm
We
just
gotta
never
4
gonna
up
stop
it.
now.
Do we 4 up?
And
Gotta roll different dice. You gotta mix up your dice in the dice roller. You got that dice roller bias going on.
Oh, let me finish the round. Just.
That 4 up deny may be the most tilting strat in the game. Is it? Maybe. The the fact that it not only like sort of annihilates your game plan, but also if you get your hopes up on it, like if you hinge your game plan on rolling the 4+, it will prevent you every time.
Well, you can deny it. Go and you have enough denies.
roll a 6 finally. Nope.
And that's it, because everything's out of range. Celestine will pop back up.
Yep.
Oh, but we did end up clipping out the Zephyrim, so the Hive Tyrant does get the shot on her. If it converts 2 attack rolls into Celestine, it will kill her. That's dangerous.
7 again.
There's a reason I do not have any sympathy for this army whatsoever.
I can feel that. Yeah, they deserved it. Shard Gullet going into Celestine.
Yeah.
He sits on 4s now, I believe. Yep, 4s.
Yeah.
1 for 0. Nope. And 2s. 1. Oh, wait, yeah, that matches. 2 on your 4 up, so.
Yeah, okay, so. Roll the first one. It's 4 damage.
You.
And
Just-
let's go for the next one.
As you wish.
So Miracle's a save on
Taking shots into
Celestine, so
Celestine.
she survives.
Yep.
We're gonna see if we can survive thousands of termagants shooting at her. She does have a 2+ save. If she survives this turn, it will be pretty strong. But obviously it's a little dangerous.
15.
2 ups.
All right, Celestine. Nah, she failed a bunch of them. Unfortunate. So grind them down, looking like it's going to score out for Indicius.
That's me done, so.
Yeah.
Here.
Little interesting. I think that turn we basically saw how much damage not killing 3 gargoyles did right there, right? Because that opened up the Zephyrum to get hit with the blinding venom. Whereas if Indicius effectively hadn't spiked his saving throws against the frag grenade, that unit gets vaporized. Everything goes into the Hive Tyrant and just kills the Hive Tyrant. And he might swing on death. He doesn't get to shoot. And Celestine may not even die at that point. Not to mention that your future imperatives turn off, so you lose access to the +1 to cast. You lose access to fallback and charge. That was a pretty big knock-on effect, as the players were discussing earlier. Now, I guess we do have the ability to try to clip the Hive Tyrant this turn as well. I'm not sure that it's really worth the attempt. I think that it just ends up losing you so much on grind them down that it's that it is probably not worth it. Kind of wild that we also haven't been able to formulate a response to the Spore Mine units getting generated over here either. The Spore Mines end up leaving a couple models left, and then Indicius' dice just mean it does kill a unit.
Okay, so we go. Yeah, so rolls come down, these have come down, the rhinos sat there.
You got chance over here?
I've got stuff to do over here.
Yes, Mom? Yeah, be right back. I just gotta move something.
Fine.
So I like this play from Dylan, just leaving this objective so that the Spore Mines can't hit him and don't give up points on grind. Dylan knows that he doesn't have to hold that objective at the beginning. Indicius is already going to be scoring a 12, but Indicius is already maxed in primary. It literally doesn't matter what Indicius scores in primary now. So those Spore Mines just get to sort of chill, and then Dylan can just charge them with everything, and maybe he loses them. Could lose something to the Spore Mines, which would be awkward. But we do have the Dogmata. The Dogmata can drop Profane Blazing Piety and just start killing a bunch of them. And it's probably fine. But really, all that Dylan needs is one model to survive on the objective for it to be okay. He just may lose a unit to grind, which would be awkward, but not the end of the world. He needs to hold his other objective for Defend the Shrine, so he can't quite do the same thing on both sides. But he absolutely has to push for the 12-point primary here. So Indicius right now, max on primary already. He's got 6 on grind with the potential for... He's killed 2 units so far this turn. Oh, do we full send in to try to clip that Hive Tyrant? If we clip the Hive Tyrant and the Gargoyle unit, that will put it to a wash on grind. Oh, no, it won't because we lost the Battle Sisters down here. So Indicius will go up to 9 on grind them down. This is insane. The fact that these Spore Mine units have consistently killed one Sister's unit every time has been absolutely wild. Wow. So Indicius does have the opportunity for another turn of grind. So he's about to go up to 9. I don't think there's a way that reasonably Dylan can stop it without really losing the game. So he's going to go up to a 77. He's only at 6 on Psychic Interrogation. Should that be a 9? Is that correct? I have no idea. But he could go to a 9 there, which would be 80. And then he's going to get 6 more on banner, so 86 is what we're looking for. If Dylan can get his 5 on leap, his 6 on defend, That's 9. And yeah, if he scored the bottom round 5 primary, then he wouldn't. But I don't. If he can't do that, I'm not sure he has a chance. Ugh. So dangerous. Yeah, I think flubbing out that turn, the kills on that objective may have lost Hill in the game at this point. If he kills the Gargoyles and the Hive Tyrant, he probably still loses the grind that turn, but he breaks a banner, which is a 2-point swing, because I don't think that... Or Indicius could replace the banner. So it's only a 1-point difference. But again, that also means that it's much more difficult for Indicius to kill those models in the swing back if they just die on the Alpha Strike. Because the reason that Celestine went down was because the Hive Tyrant did so much damage to it. And that let her get one shot by the Zoanthropes. Yeah, so literally I think those Gargoyles surviving may have decided the game here.
Yep, that should be them dead.
Wins.
It's 3s, by the way. They don't have transhuman.
Oh, of course they don't. Right. It's 2 more then. Yeah.
2 will die.
Right. Start with roll damage, right?
No, it's minimum. Isn't it minimum, Tinny?
It's not.
Well, just
Right,
go
one.
like this.
2, second one, I'll use.
Okay, so 1 dies.
Second one, I'll use it 2 more.
Just roll this. Don't do that. Just roll the. You still have a
No.
chariot. So 1 dies to the 2 shots, and then you can just roll the next 2.
Right, 2 times.
Yeah, fine.
I still have to use 2 to kill it because I like that. These Retributors will shoot.
Yep.
So this is the encircled Zoanthrope unit that went into reserve the other turn. I think they hit on 3s, right,
I'm just
chat?
gonna CP to roll that one or not?
You're just going to keep rolling. Bastards.
Just roll this. I can't use the thingy.
I had
think-
to use the 2 before to kill it. That's
Uh,
3, roll. And was roll, shoot. 2 hits. 1 wound. Okay, and then 3 shots. 2 hits. 2 wounds. Take
takes
2.
2 down to 2.
Okay, shooting you with Battle Sisters. All hit. 1 wound. Will you fail a save, please?
I'm trying to.
Okay,
I only got 4 shots. Hey, makes 2. You can do it.
oh wait, makes 2.
That's fine. It fails.
Oh wait, it does hit on 5s.
Oh, wait. Oh, I failed that one. Okay, he's down to 1. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
that
I
is it.
just in range? No.
Oh, we did forget bolters on the pension.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's just 2 shots. The one with reroll wounds. Nope. And the other one,
Don't you have a strat for something like auto hits or like that? Okay, no.
I'll save. Come on.
I tried. I could use his armor. No, his armor save is also a bloody 4 up because it's a 5 up.
Yeah, but you're in like it's not like.
It's not great cover.
Anyway, charges. The Cannon Nest is going to try a completely impossible charge and ban Miracle Dice of a 1.
Yep.
Get 2 on Leaf. Over to you.
So we get 12 again. And I don't get that because I didn't do the action. I get grind. Banners I go to 10. Psychic. Next turn, how much points do you get? You can get
It is so many bugs, chat. Yeah, they've mostly been sitting in the middle unmolested. I think Dylan made a single attack with Marvin Ball into them, which ended up being a huge mistake.
All the buffs onto them. Guess I'll recover the Tyrant. Gets 2 wounds back.
Yeah, so we have 9 points available for Indicius. Whether he gets all of those is the question. Paying CP to get the Hive Tyrant back. Man, I kind of feel like it was maybe the chance here for the Cannon S to go in and just try to clip these two units out. But I think the problem is that Dylan hasn't been killing units, so he hasn't been generating enough Miracle Dice to then fuel like further aggression. And he also hasn't lost any Repentia units, so like he doesn't get the ability. He's not using. The unfortunate part is that. And this may be a symptom of not having a Repentia superior to give the Repentia extended threat range. But because Indicius is playing so passive, like we said, right? All Indicius wants to do is set the line of engagement on his side of the midline. That means that the Sisters Repentia don't have this like extreme threat range where they could just drop a bunch of Miracle Dice into getting into a really obnoxious position. And so we haven't been able to trade with the units that actually want to be trading, which are those Repentia. And instead, we've been trading with expensive Zephyrim units that just get vaporized by mortal wounds and things. And aren't super great on the crackback, whereas Repentia have the opportunity to fight on death.
Yes, dogpile.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go to a WTC style terrain layout for Season 7. I think US Open was an interesting experiment, but I think the community has spoken their dislike for USO, which is unfortunate. I like USO. It does kind of feel like, I don't know. It's the quote-unquote official map pack, so I'd like to stick with it, but unfortunately, I think people just don't like it.
Tyrant will run away. He does not run away. He goes 9.
Okay.
It's a decent runaway.
Okay, so I think we do have a line of play here for Dylan. He needs to push to this objective, and he needs to kill those gargoyles. He doesn't, or get the Battle Sisters onto the objective. Yeah, so the gargoyles we need to have one gargoyle towing that objective in a position where it's going to be difficult to charge it. It's a little dangerous. I think like literally you just put one gargoyle on the back here and you surround them with Tyrant Guard and stuff so that it's difficult to take that objective away. And then don't even put the Zoanthropes. Ooh, that's dangerous. Yeah, so we'll see where these models end up going, I guess. So the out that Dylan would have is that he gets 2 charges onto this objective. He gets a Repentia charge to outnumber people, and he gets a Battle Sister charge to contribute objective secured. If he can get both of those, and he clips out like the Zoanthrop unit or something, it doesn't look like grind is going to be scored for Indicius this turn, unless it's Zoanthrop. I guess the Zoanthrop can kill the Rhino. But if Dylan kills that Zoanthrop on the swing back, it doesn't matter. So he doesn't need to push for the center objective.
Yeah.
He just needs to push for objective 2 right now. I don't know what this 6 is. Is that a Miracle Die? If he has a 6 and a Miracle Die, it's going to be great for a charge.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Nothing to shoot, nothing to kill, just something to smite. So do you get points for killing my stuff? Or was it just
No.
holding
No.
crap?
Holding stuff.
8, you get 3 for that. I'll get 3 for that. 3 for that. I can't get that. So I just need to get. I won't get grind.
Yeah, so Tyranids can get more secondaries, chat. They have 3 banners raised currently. So they're threatening an additional 9 points on secondaries. It's all up to the sisters, basically. If Tyranids can score grind, but it is unlikely. They have a Zoanthrope in the back here who can kill this Rhino, basically, almost automatically. If it gets the Knight, it won't do it. And obviously, the Zoanthrope will probably just die to Retributors on the swingback. So that should be a wash. So they probably won't get grind. They have 3 banners raised, which will probably score them at least 2 points. So that's 5. And they can get Psychic Interrogation. So they have a potential 8.
Nope, on a 4.
Or a potential probable 5. Potential
That's
9,
it.
probable 5.
Yeah, that was the last point I needed.
It was literally, yeah, Hugo plus 3. And then my turn had 8.
Literally, you can win here, Dylan.
I got 3. Is it even possible?
You just have to charge these guys. What are you doing?
Yep.
What?
That's really frustrating.
2 points.
Are we just gonna call it?
It was literally just rolling like dog shit here.
Are these
Oh, I did turn off your
Charger?
rerolls. If you had that, then you would have killed him.
You turned off my rerolls, and I still only hit with 30%.
Yeah.
Well,
What?
I
Should have died.
What?
And it's like that.
What is happening right now, chat?
Yeah.
Roll the attacks.
Wouldn't have. because
What
I
are you
had
doing?
more pins to kill. You only killed 1 pin. If you killed out gargoyles, I would have gotten.
Gargoyles like should have been dead as well. To be fair, you got. 3.
You could also, because it's the final turn, and if you're losing already, you could just push for the center. You can get Battle Sisters there. Just put everything into it.
The whole.
You got 3d6 on 1 weapon.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was 2
Really
tough.
really walk.
Yep, that's that. Banners grind. I won't get even if because you kill that last Zoanthrope up there.
Yeah.
And you use your
Yeah.
dice to kill him.
Yeah, and I literally like tap out at 85. So
So that psychic interrogation has got me the win.
yeah, it was failing 4 of the 4-ups and not getting a single 6 of the 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so that is. Well, you should be able to rip a fake 1 more.
Why-
You'll kill that guy with all your dice.
Why even roll dice out, chat? Like, I actually think you could kill this Termagant unit right now. You can Word of the Emperor their invulnerable save away. And then more of Invul double fights them, and you hit them with a unit of
It's
Sisters
just a crazy
Repentia.
quote.
And all you need is 1 Battle Sister on the point, and outnumber the Termagant, and you take it.
Good game, sir.
Good game.
Okay.
Probably should have given my Harpies the bloody inv on turn 1, which I kind of forgot. I forgot that this Harpy is transhuman, not thermic symbiosis, but anyway.
How many gaunts is that?
It's 30.
30.
And she
Problem
poops
is,
out,
no,
and she
days.
poops out like about 10. But the problem is you only have melee, like high volume melee. And if you leave enough, I still bring back a lot.
Yeah, but you don't have the opportunity to bring them back.
Yeah, but they have a 5-up involve, 5-up feel no pain. They are many transhuman, and I would have put -1 to wound on that then.
Yeah, that's fine. I can live with -1 to wound. I've got these guys here.
I can roll the dice to see, but then...
In the interest of actually having something happen in this game,
Yeah, just roll
Okay.
the dice.
We
Just
are
say
gonna
make
roll
the
it out.
charges and see how much you make.
I'll have
It's like,
So, do you want
not
me to-
unlikely.
Well,
It's actually fairly reasonable that we kill this Termagant unit right here and flip the result of the game. Okay, we're gonna do it. Dylan has 46 minutes left on his clock to operate a single turn. So there's 2 potential plays here, chat.
Surround it in my-
The first one is that we go for this long bomb between these models and the Zoanthropes. If we get OBSEC onto this objective here and we connect with the Zoanthropes, Dylan takes it. But that's very difficult because I think it's like 12-inch charges, which is awkward. So we're not gonna consider that. Instead, what we can do is just literally throw effectively the entire army into the center here.
I mean, I assume this zone throw is just smiting the rhino.
Yeah, she used the smite in it.
Oh, we're resolving the spore mines. Yeah, that should be fine. I think it's literally better for the retributors to fire the spore mines, to fire at the spore mines than more so than the termagants anyway.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And a retributor unit should just clip that. So all we need to do is hold this with like a single retributor, right?
5.
The rest of them can go do other stuff and shoot at people. Morven Vol gets to full tap into everything. The Canoness gets to go in. The Battle Sisters get to go in. What are we doing right now?
And then that guy will just smite. You can, well, if you deny it, then it's just go to 6.
I could roll 6 for the first. No.
Okay, never mind, that thing will just blow up. Just don't blow it up, please.
Oh wait, yeah. Will it explode?
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. So he'll just sit there and be happy. Their mind's over there. He would Psychic Scream into the Repentia.
Yeah. I'll try and roll my first 6 of the game. No, cool. Still not blocked.
Let's see.
D3.
1 on your Repentia.
5 of. Yeah,
One goes. And for the fun of it, -1 to wound on him.
Yeah.
How is the Tyranid score adding to
Nope.
86?
I was gonna CP for that.
He currently has 31 on secondary, 45 on primary, so that's 76 and 10 for painting.
Monumentus. So yeah, the zone drop would put all the bars back onto the big brick.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop any of that. So.
And then we got the horror. That goes off onto your Repentia.
I will.
Oh, it's a squad over here. Wait.
Yeah, I will also be slightly. Would you like to move these up?
Yeah, both players
Oh,
get
yeah,
the
it's
10
fine.
points for
That's
painting
fine.
automatically
Okay,
added
cool.
in TTS.
No, I mean to put your books on the terminals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
I have no idea what's happening right now in
Excellent.
chat.
That's it. He's right. He did. Okay, now just say you advance and just go dice and see if you can kill him.
yeah, okay.
This is the downside of
well,
like half
opposite.
talking out of turn, is you end up having to actually play out the entire turn anyway.
Can you even fit the Repentia there? Because you, what, you
can't.
can you tie the game?
It's very stupid. Firstly, these aren't incoherent.
No.
There you go. Cool. Secondly,
Yeah, we got a lot of time.
Let's just say you're gonna blow his brain up and deny my grind. Fair enough. And now let's see what you can do with this.
that's the hope. Okay, so my spawn mine's not scribed. Okay, let's clone some Terragants. What's not that one? Okay,
Are you giving OPSEC to this Repentia squad?
I mean, yes, we are giving obstacle to that Revenge squad. The 7 guys. We'll give +1 to their attacks. It goes off. Do I have anything else I can do? I mean, I'll make them. Oh wait, I can do Dogmaster. Does. Oh damn! It has to be visible. Cool. I guess I'll make them immune to spells for fun. No, I will give them advance and charge from the Adventure Superior.
Yep.
So he's moved out there. Next,
Oh, they got to take a morale check.
Yeah,
Oh,
I kind of feel like it's
there you go.
unfortunate that all these
Then
support
minus
characters
2.
haven't been in the Shrine Ruin the entire time. The Repentia Superior up there would have been so helpful this turn.
That's fine.
If we could have just yeeted this Repentia into this
So
area, that
have
would have
my
been
12
huge.
every one.
Bear in mind, I don't have to blow them up.
You do have to blow them up.
Nope.
Yes.
I can keep them.
Really have the rule works.
That's a WTC, I think.
Not WT. That's not in the WTC FAQ. That one is just a general thing, at least in the UK. How is it done here? Do they have to explode or no?
Trevi,
Yeah, so the rule is that when a enemy unit ends a move that moved within 3 inches of it, the model can explode. That's optional.
Okay, so they're optional, yeah. That's fine. The argument
Not
we
a
tend
house
to have,
rule.
the argument we always run into over here is that I think we had a massive debate at a tournament, and it was over a full stop that was after the can. Okay, so let's move out.
Okay.
Sister step out.
Seems like a very liberal interpretation of stuff, but sure.
Okay, so we think do I have to use a 4 to advance that? Yeah. I'll just use the 6 to advance the Revenger.
Okay. Do they get within 3 inches of me? Yeah, they would. This is this guy.
I can avoid it.
If you can. Yeah, like just 3 inches from this guy's.
Yeah, I think I understand the argument, chat. What it should say is the model can explode. An exploding model is destroyed. Select one of the enemy units and roll.
Did he put Morven's buff on?
It could be that the can is referring to the fact that the effect only triggers on a 2+, but I don't. That doesn't feel like the implication at all. Like I can understand the argument. I just don't think that there's a real. It's a very realistic one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go.
Okay. You avoided the mines.
Yeah, I agree, Chad.
Yeah, we've avoided the first set of mine death.
Yeah, can abilities are like the problem is that nothing in the rules specifies what exploding means. Like does can explode refer to the fact that you can choose whether or not the rest of the ability triggers, or does it refer to the fact that it there is a potential that it deals mortal wounds? But I don't think that that's much of a debate, to be honest.
Right, these will just move out. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Jack. Like any optional ability would just always trigger.
8 shots.
They'll be like, yeah, but can use this ability just means that it could potentially hit with its ranged attack.
We'll shoot.
So you have to use it immediately.
4. How many in rapid fire? None. Yeah, so these 4 battle sisters will shoot both mines.
Okay.
And 3, 1 wound.
So it looks like we're going to be angling for... Assuming that none of these models die on the crackback, which is, like, I think kind of unlikely.
Oh, shooting a mine. Okay, never mind, 1 dies. So I will pop this
guy. Next we'll do...
So it looks like we're going to be angling to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably 10 models onto this objective. If these sisters make this charge, it's going to be huge.
3 dead mines.
1, 2, and 3.
So 10 models. So we have to kill... We basically have to wipe the Termagant unit.
We'll put a...
on this swing, which is going to be tough, but it's possible. We need some big charges here for Dylan.
I can go there, 1 and gun into
a 6 and a 3 are the miracle dice right now, chat. We burned 1 to get these Repentia up farther.
The 2 multi-mount on the 10 again.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it's because just like things haven't really gone Dylan's way this game. It's unlikely that he wins, but it's a far cry from just conceding the game. Because if this goes off, you just win. It's not like oh, I get more points or whatever. The score just literally flips by like 5 points.
All hit.
I mean, I understand the mindset, right, chat? Like, you're playing against this kind of, like, this hyper-passive, very degenerate playstyle. That's why I don't really like this Turbogun Brick playstyle. I'm a little bit upset that it's kind of... It looks like it's going to be meta in the coming packet. Because it is extremely tilting to play, like, both with and against, because you just do nothing for the entire game, and your opponent just, like, pulls their hair out trying to get anything done against your army.
Dead.
So I understand like, you look at the scoreboard and you're like, my opponent literally bricked the primary. Like, they turned the primary into a cinder block from which they will construct their home. But like, you're playing sisters. You have like the second best secondaries of the game. Like, you still have a billion points and you've always maxed primary also. Like, it's actually fine. Don't give up.
6, so 24 shots. 1 6s, 0 1s.
Did we fire a Repentia unit into it? We charged with a Repentia unit? What?
No.
Please. Oh wait, I got one more reload there. I guess I get another wound. Nope, doesn't matter. Okay, you got 5 on your 6 up. Well, you got 5 healing up pain, so.
I will take it on a...
Oh, that feels like a miss sequence. We could have charged with Sisters or Vol
6 up in Vons and then 5 up healing up pain.
or the Canoness. All of those would have been immune to Overwatch.
I don't think...
Ew.
Wait, they give me good dice, yeah.
We killed the zone.
Yeah, they're very difficult to kill, chat. Especially if you're trying to engage with multiple different units, just because casualty removal can be such a big deal. But right now, this Termagant unit, it's Stalwart, so everything wins it on 3s instead of 2s. They are... a 5+ invulnerable save, which will probably be removed by Word of the Emperor, I think. And then a 5+ damage ignore as well. So only lost 1 Repentia from the shot there. That definitely felt like a huge mistake. I don't know what's going on there, but oh well.
Go.
Yeah, we also have the potential to... Oh, I guess we can't drop a banner here. So the banner does lock in at 3 points this turn.
Next we've got Vol. Wait. I'll do these with Pencha on a 4. 3d6. Higher. Oh, we'll take the 12.
Oh my god. We did need some solid charge rolls here, and that's what we've gotten. And now we just see this gorgeous envelopment of the unit where it's going to be difficult to pull casualties in such a way that the Repentia can't attack, especially because we had to pull the Termagants off the back line here. Now getting these Battle Sisters in would add additional bodies. That would be huge.
We'll try Vol.
Looks like Morven's just going to try to roll. Naturally, she gets it in. Oh my god, dude. This might do it. How many have we killed so far? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There's 21. If everyone touches the objective, and we're going to stay outside of heroic intervention range to stop that Turbogun from killing anyone. If everyone touches the objective, because we got those huge charge rolls, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 models. You only have to kill like half this Termagant unit to flip the objective.
Okay.
The Termagant counts as 5.
So 1, 2.
But you basically then have to kill 12 Termagants, right? Or 21. 12 put you down to 14, and you outnumber at 15 with OPSEC. I think we just do it, chat. Right? I think assuming that the dice don't continue to not go Dylan's way, I think that's just fine.
And just reroll with successes.
5 up. About yep. So
Cool.
I will none of these ones. Let's pull it from the center. 1,
Okay.
2, and 3.
Canoness. So 5 attack on charge. All hit.
So was that a Morven swing first? And she has a double swing as well. You have to keep in mind. The cannonettes can also explode
That's
attacks
fine,
into
5 wounds.
sixes. Yeah, I think we have a 6 in the bank that we're thinking about using.
Damage.
2 each.
3 die. 1, 2, and 3.
Any strat I can do to help the big adventure unit? Probably just hit on the 6s hit on wins. We'll go for the big adventure unit.
Yeah, we actually have to put these models
uh,
on the objective, Dylan. Let's do our piling consolidates, please.
What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 adventure.
Alright. These ladies are pretty turbocharged
That
right now.
is 7 plus 1 plus 1, so 4, 28.
Yeah. You got the Dogmata buff.
We'll do 6s to hit auto wound.
Yep, go ahead.
Pretty strong for getting around that stalwart effect.
go.
Don't have to roll that 3+ now. And
Reroll
certainly
hits.
helps when you get those rerolls. Oh my god! Oh, that's so huge! Look at that. 8 6s which explode thanks to passion.
8 extra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the extra 5.
Oh
And
my
3's reloading
god.
ones. Damn it.
And then that is that 23 wounds to the unit? Punches through the invuln save, so 14 go down. Yeah, I think we flipped that middle objective.
Oops.
Rerolling.
What is this? That is.
13.
Oh, are we not Word of the Emperor?
That is. What is this? 13.
13.
Yeah, I think that will do
1,
it.
2, 3.
Especially
How many
since
obstacle
Morven
models can
gets
put on this
another
board?
attack here as well.
We got 3 so far.
I've got
Question
4, so.
is, let me just see now. Can I pull Morven out of combat?
I don't think so.
No, I can if I just
Yeah, I don't know,
break
chat.
coherency.
I think he spent some and then generated more. He spent one in
Break
the fight
coherency, that
phase,
means I can't
or in
pull
the
way to
advance, and I think he spent one on a charge. So I think he spent 2 so
13.
far, which is all you need for leap, right?
How many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5,
Although it doesn't look like he's gonna max leap, which is unfortunate.
16. Only 3 are left. Yeah, so he will take the point. Guess I just hold these guys up. Yep, so I'll pull everything from this side.
Okay.
1, 2,
Are we gonna tie this game, chat?
4.
No, because leap should push it over.
8, 11, 12.
Look at that.
I'm
3 for
within
2
if any of
points.
Oh, yep, 13. I should put him first. Anyway. I think you'll take the medal, which means you kind of win.
Yeah. I think
Then they
it
pile
looks
on.
good.
Roll goes in.
There goes
Four
Morven with
fights,
the
5
old
fights.
the old slash slash slash.
I'm just gonna fight her twice. So.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, just roll a billion
Is there a
attacks with
switch
her.
profile on roll? There is a switch.
Morven's such a good late game piece. Oh my god, just that once per game double fight and the last like 2 turns of the game becomes such a
I
threat.
should pick him up. Anyways, that means you should win.
I mean, it was worth the shot.
9. Yeah, got that better. Buffet.
We use a miracle dice with roll. Gets us the 2, so we go to that and shrine.
There it is, chat. That's what we were saying.
9, not banners. I've ticked.
Yeah.
2, 2, 3, 3, 3. So
I
that
think
should be good.
we mapped this out like
Alright.
an hour and a half ago that Dylan should win by 1, and it happened.
Yeah. Anyway,
It happened. Yeah.
lots of attacks. Well, it is what it is.
I mean,
Dylan almost called the game,
the
guys.
hits. I mean, we have played
Alright,
an inordinate
we
amount
did it.
this season.
Yeah. So,
What are we, like, tied now at 3-3?
no, I think I've been winning against you so far. You only beat me once. No, you beat me twice with the. No, you only beat me once actually.
This season, yeah, sorry. It was last season when we kept having, like, Harlequin Custodes.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be that. Yeah, I can't explain anything else. That's not. Sacred. Yeah, I am quite good. Some of these sisters secondaries are gone.
Yeah, I mean, the Leaf one is weird, right? Because
So that doesn't matter too much. Which one did they kick? Because they deleted one of these, didn't they?
so they took one off Sacred Ground, so it's a 4, not a 5 now.
Yeah, okay, so that would have won me. But anyway, I'll win by 1 point. What can I? Yeah, well, you kept denying my damn psychic interrogation, so I couldn't really do much about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you've got Interrogate or Ritual possibly would have been better.
Not really. You had the same damn thing. Yeah, I did not finish the center, so it was the same thing.
Yeah, true.
At least with psychic, I get the CP, but if I'm lucky.
But if you get Ritual 3 times, it's a 12.
Yeah, but you could still deny.
Yeah.
Just because you rolled shit doesn't mean it means anything.
That's a very fair point.
Maybe I should have kept my RP. Yeah, the RPs I shouldn't have sacrificed, but they kept you in your deployment zone.
I mean, it's funny. Beginning of another pod, I played this exact list into this exact list, and the exact same thing happened with the Harpies, where Retributors just totaled Harpies and were left with a Zephyr unit outside because you underestimate it. Sadly, mine both had Transhuman and 4+ Invuns, and he still just died to Retributors.
Well, I didn't give them the invuln. Maybe if they survived that, they could have tanked a few.
Yeah.
Anyway, is what it is, sir. Not bad for the last game.
No?
Yeah. GG, guys. So it was funny. We mathed out about halfway through the game what the probable outcome was, and came to this exact score. And when you guys started to talk it out, we were having a minor meltdown in chat.
I mean,
well, he did make. Well,
every long pause I took at the beginning of each of my turns was me with a Sharpie and a piece of paper in front of me.
Yeah.
Going, okay, you know what I score? Can I 4+ stop him?
Yeah, I think that's just sort of the way of things, especially with this Tyranid list, right? Because you just, it's a big do nothing, so it's always going to get a pretty similar score, and you just have to work around it.
Yeah. Only that strats. But anyway, it is what it is. It's only 10 sisters have, and a hell of a lot of attacks.
Yeah. I mean, I think Leap of Faith has actually turned into a more annoying secondary. It's now worse because you've just got to discard a dice and hope you've got a 5 or a 6 to get the 15.
It's a very weird RNG thing. Because if you roll all ones the game, it gives you nothing.
But I think it's a more annoying secondary now because if your opponent just rolls 5s and 6s at any point for his miracle dice, miracle dice,
he does have to.
You have to know it's literally zero interaction. It is now just like a mini game inside of your 40k game with the sisters players playing.
Well, to be fair, it's still freaking uninteractive. It's just that you have to choose to use it on something.
But
you just better hope now that I better roll 6s and 5s.
I mean, there's stuff you can do. Like you can take the litany.
Yeah, but that's also. I mean, you can take all Martyr later, but then you're going into that sub-faction.
Yeah, but like I think
like you have to use all Martyr lady, and
I don't think you need Bloody Rose anymore.
Well, the pens are like how much? 2 points each? 2 points more? So you probably have
like 2 points more. You're still taking it, but like you arguably don't need Bloody Rose because if you're going into a Marine meta, you kill it without Bloody Rose anyway.
Unless it's Iron Hands.
And like you just sort of want more consistent scoring in a lot of it. Like Bloody Rose became like aside from having great supplement, like the Zephyr and the Penchik need came.
Isn't that radical supplement gone now?
I think the Bloody Rose supplement is one of the ones that stays till June. I'm not sure.
Well, they should FAQ that damn thing, but anyway. Yeah, I don't even think I could have gotten anything different.
No, it's
Because you don't give up grind. I mean, you don't give up no prisoners. I can't kill you guys in melee because I'm not a melee. You
No.
just turn off the unit that you always put out in the open. I can't smite it to death, so that doesn't matter. If I had Neuro
Yeah.
Parasite, I would have probably done a bit better, but I forgot to put it in my list.
yeah, and your Parasite helps a lot in the match. It probably like peaks your grind somewhere.
Yeah. So that's about it. If I just remembered to put Neuro Parasite in the list, it would have helped, but
Yeah.
I couldn't roll at 3. And I didn't kill much, to be brutally honest. Well, I killed a lot, but
You
wouldn't have given me enough points. Maybe if I didn't... Like, I could have dogpiled more of these gargoyles, but then you would have just killed that, then maybe I should have got you.
I'll be honest, if you had dogpiled gargoyles here,
The problem is I didn't have enough space. I put 30 models on the damn board, so
and yeah, to be fair, you didn't put like the entire thing on.
I put the whole brick on the damn thing, and they had the better save, so it was like... Maybe these guys, you ran around them, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, the original plan, because I was assuming I could auto exploit them, was I was actually just gonna throw like that Repentia unit in, force explode them all, and run through.
Doesn't really matter.
Cool.
Anyway, good games up.
Good game.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Your scores all set.
See you next. Well, next season starts a whole nother path.
Next season's going to be a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not happy fighting God, but why the hell not? I survived.
I mean, to be fair,
I survived to
God
Adepta, I survived to God.
God won't dominate on these boards.
These boards are changing though. We get to use the new GW rubbish terrain that's pretty much a gunline rule.
I mean, no, the new GW layouts are practically the same. They're not too different.
No, but you have less chance of hiding because the lines are very awkward.
Yeah, but like, in all fairness, the reason like I started to take sisters towards the end of the season is because if you can't shoot me, sisters just do this.
Yep. Well, that's what most bloody armies are like, to sit in camp. But at least now you can camp a bit less. We won't score as much.
The new army that does this is Harlequins.
Yeah, but that's what you've always done.
Yeah, but behind enemy lines going to a 3 means your Quinn's game has turned from let's interact with you to there is a boat here. 6 points, 6 points, 6 points, 6 points, 6 points, 6 points.
Oh yeah, is it just one unit?
One unit gets you 3 points on behind enemy lines. And because of how deployments are in this terrain is, you can do it with a troop unit. And that gives you deadly performance as well. So as long as I keep taking the center off you with another troop unit, I get 9 points a turn that you can't stop.
Unfortunately, those armies kind of bend. Harpies are pointless, biovores, even though they were very good, they're not worth freaking paying mines for.
I mean, if you would like to play, what is it, 90 a turn, 450 points for your mine templates?
Well, they're about 10 points each, and I'm assuming you have to pay.
You pay for the mines, but I believe they, like...
But I don't get how
you
do it with the biowars, because the biowars are random, so if you go high, you just delete the ones that you don't make.
Um...
So let's say you save like 50 points behind, you can't... Is that 50 points burnt up the first 5 you make, or is that 50 points burnt up throughout the game?
I mean, that 50 points will get burnt up on the first 5 and you'll just be left with biovores, so that's why you've got to leave a bunch.
Yeah,
but
so
I thought...
Yeah, Spore Mines were not costed to actually be played, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, no, but
like,
they were also given way too good rules.
If they were... Well, if their harpy is attached to them, then they can run them into you. But generally, you can avoid these things somewhat. I just think that they should have told them that you can't move the damn things.
Move the biobores? Or the spore?
No, not the bivores. The spore
Oh.
mines, they should just be that you
they
can't
just
move
float.
them.
They just float there
Yeah.
once you place them.
Yeah, that should just be the thing. Like, you actually have to, like, predict.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you can advance them, and it can still ram into stuff is kind of an every 3-inch. Because it's kind of pointless having something that can run into you at 3-inch detonation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but counterpoint. They're floating balloons. Why do they move 9 inches towards me like I'm being attacked by a balloon?
Yeah, they should just sit. They should just sit in the one spot. They shouldn't move. You should take away their movement.
Back in the day, they used to scatter. They would go random directions.
Yeah. Or the bivores used to only make them when they actually missed.
Yeah.
So it's like there would have been more. Although that would be very swingy then. Anyway,
Yeah.
I gotta go. Got some construction too. Good game.
All
Musa.
right.
Cool.
Cheers, guys. I've
Okay.
your score
I'll
is
take
in.
the sec.
Congratulations
I'll
on
take this-
taking it down, Dylan.
I'm pretty sure I take a second place for this.
Have a good one.
Cheers,
Cheers.
have a good.
All right, chat. Bit of a discussion at the end there. That's gonna be it for this game. Congratulations on that one. I'm glad our math earlier checked out. That we were looking at that 1-point Sisters victory. Invitational will use the new map pool, chat. We will not be on these maps for invitational stuff. So we're gonna go rating. So keep in mind that we are on we're gonna be streaming again tonight, 8 p.m. US Eastern, so 9 hours from now. So please come hang out for that game as well. And I'm trying to find somebody to raid. Let's go raiding. There'll be more Tyranids, which will be great. So far, we have 3 Tyranids in finals this weekend, and they've lost all their games. At what point, if Tyranids go 0-3 this weekend, can we stop complaining that Tyranids were overpowered in FLM? Why can't I find the Warhammer tag? There it is. It's always buried. Dark Tide has thrown it out. Got Bembel und Bolter playing a game. Some Arcs of Omen gameplay. Otherwise, people painting. What fun! So much paint. All right, chats. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks, everyone, for coming and hanging out with me. I'll see you this evening for more sweet Tyranid plays as we ramp up the season and get ready for the next season. And I'll see you there. Cheers.